So how does this work? How, like in practice, does this make sense? Well, there's a few things that have to happen in order to kind of mesh the sales world and the PLG world together. You got to really understand your requirements, like really understand them. Going through and making an evaluation on a MarTech platform, making an evaluation on a campaign execution tool, before you even start going through and engaging in that sales process, take some time and sit down and figure out, what are you trying to solve for? What are you hoping that these tools can do? Because the better you can articulate that in a sales process, or the better you can articulate that as you're using a product, the more valuable that's going to be for you, because you're obviously making a stronger decision. Define 2 or 3 key scenarios you need to accommodate for. So what are you trying to solve for? What are you hoping that this tool is going to bring that is going to help solve for these problems, so that 6 months, 12 months down the line, you're not reevaluating and say, hey, this didn't actually meet our needs. We need to actually go and look again and look for the next piece of software, which is a really expensive process to go through. And lastly, it's always helpful to buy with experience in hand. And I always look back personally to someone like my dad. My dad's he was a real estate agent. He's retired now. But helping people make those decisions with quite possibly the biggest investment that they're making in their life, and what that means. And being someone who you trust, and being someone who you have confidence in, and knowing that this person has experience going through different scenarios, obviously makes it a lot easier for product adoption and making sure you're actually getting what you want. So the key takeaway with all this, you can't bake a cake without all the ingredients. And I like that phrase when I think about kind of what we talked about here today, which is, you want a little bit of everything in terms of how you're going through and buying. You want that community-based feedback. You want to engage potentially with social creators. You want to engage with sales teams, and you want to engage with those freemium style models, or those product-led growth models where you kind of dab your foot in. But when you bring all of this together and you're prepared and you have experience guiding you, it's really going to make the buying experience that much better for you, and hopefully a little bit cheaper for you as well. So to help with this, we, 3MG, created a document called Normalizing the Buying Process. It's ungated. You don't have to provide any contact for this. You simply go to 3mg.ca/offer, and we've got a 4-page document that goes through a lot of the questions you would typically ask, specifically when you're buying a marketing automation platform, or even other tech tools as well. There's a lot of common ground between a tool like Marketo and a tool like Path Factory, for example. You're still going to kind of look at the same things. So have a look at this. It's a really cool resource. It's a lot of it is based on questions that I ask vendors, or I assist customers with in asking vendors. And it's good things to know just for yourself, because it starts to plan out what's really important for you as a buyer in terms of what you're looking to do. So hopefully this is a really cool resource for you. Again, feel free to jump over to 3mg.ca/offer to give it a look. And that's pretty much my hot take for today. Do we have any questions?
Thank you, Mike. And yes, if anyone has questions, please leave them in the chat. I've also pasted the link to Mike's offer in the chat if you want a quicker way to click it and get there. So let's see if we get any question. In the meanwhile, sure. Mike, very curious. What do you think is the winning combination? Pure product-led growth or product-led sation, something in the middle?
I personally, and I guess selfishly, find it's in the middle. I, especially since starting 3MG, like I've gone through the process of buying software. We use HubSpot here for our marketing automation platform and for our CRM. And for me, I think especially having knowledge in the marketing automation space, I know a lot of the things that I need and want based on my previous usage of the tool, but just knowing what I need as well. And that makes it a whole lot easier for me to talk to a sales rep in terms of understanding my basic needs and making sure that I'm not potentially paying more than what I need, or having a conversation 6 months down the line where I didn't actually get what I need and I need to make an additional investment at that point as well. That can certainly happen. It doesn't matter how you can be super prepared at the onset, but I think having that middle ground is really going to make the buying experience better for you and hopefully a little bit cheaper for you as well, because you know kind of what you're looking for.
Awesome. Question. What's the best buying experience you ever had? If someone wanted to see an example, sign up for something just to test the perfect buying experience for a SaaS product.
I'm not a big phone guy. That's just me.
Me too.
So the more I can do over chat, the more I can do over email, the more I can do even through self-service is awesome. When we bought HubSpot, we started with the very basic version, primarily to host our website. And that experience was super straightforward and easy, where you go online, you put your credit card in, and you're done. And now I've got a hub. I've got my website there. There's obviously a whole lot more that needs to get added in terms of just like the marketing automation side or the automation side of things, so reporting capabilities and stuff like that. But that was for me, a really simple process where I knew what I wanted at the onset. And then I knew down the line, if I needed to grow, I knew the capabilities were there and I knew what the cost was going to be to help accommodate for that.
Awesome. So Mike, looks like we don't have any other question. Thank you so much for joining us. Super interesting session. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, everyone.